What we're going to do now is begin the discussion of how to use Inkscape to arrange a presentation plot and the various tools and how you can continue to expand your talents with Inkscape. As you see on this screen right here, I have a D-size plot that has been built up, and you can see that it has some issues with overlaying components and things like that. And as I've stated before, you don't worry about the small stuff like that because this is the data layer, and the main goal here is to make sure that we have all the data that we want to have on the screen before we go to the editing layer. In the editing layer I can change all these things, and that's what I'm going to illustrate. Inkscape is a program that was either downloaded and installed off the internet when you installed HawkEye, or it was installed directly from the CD. Inkscape is not a share, it's a freeware program that has been designed by hundreds of people around the world over the past 10 years to do scalable vector graphics editing, which is the standard that is used in HawkEye. And it has a very powerful program. It's beautiful. It works across different platforms. It works on Windows, and it works under Linux. I don't believe that there's an Apple version of it, but there may be. At any rate, when you come into this program, if you don't see the full screen like this on your, and you only see maybe a little postage stamp, then just for right now press 5 and it will automatically fill up the entire screen for you. There are ways of adjusting the preferences in what you can do with this program, and that you do that by coming over here to File and selecting Inkscape, and then under that there are just numerous things that you can go around, and you can set things up so that they will automatically be that way for you the next time you use them. This is an example right here. This particular feature here is under Windows, and you have to have zoom when window is resized set so that when you come in it will automatically fill the screen. So you can do that. There's lots of little secrets that are tucked away in Inkscape that'll make life a lot easier for you, but you just have to live and work with this program for a while before you can discover them all. I'm still discovering lots of neat things about this program. I really love it. At any rate, what we have here is the magic of being able to move and resize and do all the things you want to do. You have over on the left hand side you have your selector tools where you can select different modes of operation, and this is the upper mode. Down here you have in this particular area you have the layer that you're currently on. I'm going to look at this right here. It says root. Now I'm going to go click on my vertical plot. I'm going to double click on it, and you can see that the name has changed to some other name of the layer that it's on. And if I keep on clicking, I get into different layers of the graph, and so I can do things like that. So that's important to know this, because when you want to start moving things around or you want to start drawing text, you have to double click in some open space on the window until it gets down and says root, and that's where you want to be often. When you're moving labels around, you don't want to be in root, but sometimes you do. Then you have the magnification tool here, and you can just draw a box and zoom in on anything you want, and then if you want to get back you can always press the magic number 5. There are some zoom modes under those preferences that I was telling you about that I have my computer set up here so that I just put my mouse over the area where I want it, and I can just zoom in by moving my scroller, which is very nice to have because then I can just automatically move about and do the things I want to do. In this case, for example, I'm looking at this artifact right here, which is an artifact that I don't want to have on this lease line, and I'm going to zoom in on this box here, and I am going to go to my selector tool, and I'm going to come down. I'm going to double click on these objects until I get down and I see it framed, and then I click on that one, and there's one below it. I click on that one and delete, 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 and so on, and go around and get rid of the objects. If I decide that, oh man, I didn't want to get rid of that object, I can go Control Z, and this is a big one, Control Z, and it will regenerate the queue of things that I have. If I want to move something, I just click on it, double click on it until I get down to where I can move it, And in this case, I over-clicked and I got too far down in the selection, and I'm just moving the box instead of the box and the number. So I can either go up and grab the number and be done with it, or I can come over and move around. In this case, I have things that are on top of each other because I'm looking at a plain plot.